All right, good evening. I'll call the meeting for Monday, July 14th, 2025 to order at 6 o'clock. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll start. We got quite a bit on the agenda for just me and you tonight. Some appointments, looks like a public hearing. I will start with open forum, though. Is anyone here that wants to get in front of the microphone for open hearing? Seeing none, I will close open forum. Okay, so we're going to do this appointment first. Is that the way I read this? 6:05?
I would do the, yep, and then at 6:10 you can do the hearing.
Okay. So the hearing with the Board of Water Commissioners, I guess, is there someone here for that? John said he couldn't make it, right?
So there's, do you have the information? So the department has received a sewer connection application for Cumberland Farms, located at 143 Bedford Street. The DPW director is recommending that the select board, acting as the Board of Water Commissioners, approve the request to connect to our municipal downtown district with the daily permitted allocation of up to 590 gallons per day.
Okay, yeah.
So they're just looking for your approval,
Yeah.
kind of what I just said.
Yeah, and this was sort of in the works. So this is the, you don't know that, so when we built the wastewater treatment plant for the new high school, we made the sewer plant a larger capacity in order to, our biggest concern was a fire station. I think we've got the middle school on there, middle school, central school on there just for liquid. I don't think solids, right? For central school on the wastewater treatment plant. I think they're not completely hooked up to it. I think they're only, but anyways. And then we had some capacity in order to open up to the downtown, as we call it, area. That would be from Spring Street down to Carriage Crossing. Okay. And we were able to get CVS on right away when they built the new CVS. And then over the course of 3-4 year period, I guess, we ended up getting Carriage Crossing on, which was really big. Dewhurst Lumber, the Subway, thank you. Yeah, Eat Fresh.
Yeah, I think we had. I was gonna say, I think before I got elected, we talked about this
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So it's not the other sewer district we have.
entities,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the state that's Route 18.
Yeah.
This one. So the idea was eventually, you know, Cumberland Farms would, I would assume, by doing this, they're looking also to redo that property. So really excited to see them come aboard. There's a connection, I think, fairly close to where they are right now. Anyways, yeah. So.
It looks like a fee has been paid as well.
Great.
So.
Yep. So I would, strongly suggest you can make the motion to do that. That would be great.
Yep. So a motion to vote on the 143 Bedford Street sewer connection application.
Okay. All right. Vote's been made to allow that. I will second that motion. Any further discussion? Like anything add there? All right, so I think John was going to try to come, but he would have basically just done the same thing I did.
I was gonna say, I've had this discussion before getting elected. I know that was, one of the, we have the sewer district on this side, not to be confused with this one down here.
Yep.
I think it's great. I think if they're gonna redo it, 8 feet of the
Yeah, it'd be
it's
nice.
good. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, motion's been made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
So it looks like you opened that around 6:01 and closed around 6:03.
Thank you.
Now you can go back.
Duly noted. Yeah, I've got to be right on point here. Okay, so now we're in a little bit of a pickle. Being so, we've got the public hearing at 6:10. So, do you want to do a couple of these action items?
Yeah. So the first action item, to approve the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 and June 23rd, 2025 select board meeting.
All right, motion's been made. I will second that motion. Any discussion?
I don't have any discussion for that. I
All right.
approve it.
Sounds good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second, approve but not release the minutes of the May 19th, 2025, June 9th, 2025, and June 23rd, 2025, Select Board's executive session meetings.
All right, I'll second that. Any discussion?
None?
All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye. Approve the request from Nanda's Restaurant located at 225 Bedford Street to amend the hours of operation of its non-alcohol common victualler license from the current hours of 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily and the new hours to 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. daily.
Okay, motion made. I will second it. Discussion. So they came in, right? Didn't we already have this discussion with them? Same group, right across the street in Carriage
Yes,
Crossing?
right. So they've gone, we just dealt with them, for instance, on the alcohol license a few weeks ago.
Yep.
What they want to do is expand their non-alcohol business hours.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I think that's good, and they do like takeout and everything, so I'm sure 12 a.m., that's nice, it's late night snacks.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can go
Early
over-
morning, one of the two.
Or you go over after a board meeting.
Yeah, well, it
That's
better not be
true.
ending at this time.
We like things doing, I feel like that's actually been an issue. My friends came over and they're not from this area and they're like, nothing's available after like
No.
6 o'clock. I'm like, yeah.
On East Bridgewater, we close, man, 10 o'clock.
Exactly.
Shut it down.
So, I mean, it's nice to have something open that late for people.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye. To approve the disbursement of a $350 scholarship award to Aiden Flaherty, recipient of the Lucian Alden Trust Club Scholarship.
All right, motion's been made. I will second it. Discussion. I want to congratulate Aiden. I actually coached him in basketball some years back. He's done very well. I do know where he was going to school, too. So we gave him a scholarship from the Men's Basketball League. But I don't want to say the wrong place. So I just want to congratulate
Yeah,
Aiden.
congratulations.
Good family, yep. I will second the motion, so all in favor?
Aye. Yep. Approve the request from Professional Bartending Service LLC for a one-day liquor license for the Center at Sachem Rock for a 60th birthday party on July 20th, 2025, from 12 to 4.
All right, motion made. I'll second. Discussion?
Oh, happy birthday.
Yep. Whatever, right. All in favor?
Aye. Approve line item municipal relief transfers to FY 2025 all departments.
Okay, motion made. Second. Charlie, discussion?
We have the list, in the-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, so the Finance Committee's voting on it right now.
which they've already done because
Right, you're
one
back.
of the members came back.
Oh, you're back too, okay.
This is just the last round of transfers. It's fairly simple. Last round of transfers. The deadline by the state is 7/15 to do them, so this is the last round. The biggest was, there was, I think, a settlement made in an unemployment case, so we're moving some money between fire salary and unemployment. That's the biggest piece, and the rest of it, a lot of it's small dollar amounts for the year-end payroll, depending on which day June 30th fell, and some repairs to a fire engine. I think that was the other big one, but that also is from fire salary, so that stayed within the department.
Okay.
Nothing major.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Melanie. Let's see. Do we do a joint meeting with them for that, or
No,
something else?
we're having, so they had separate meetings on this purpose.
Okay.
You're doing a meet and greet with the new members of the
Okay.
Finance Committee. If you remember, the Finance Committee had come in at the last minute to ask for appointments
Okay.
for them. They weren't here for that, but we wanted the board to at least,
Yeah,
put names
right.
to faces.
Okay.
And we'll do that a little later tonight.
Appreciate that. Okay. So, do we need to make a motion towards, to accept those?
Yes, you need to approve everything under
one
number
question.
6.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Melanie. I was just wondering, when it says the reason split payroll estimate error, what is that? Can you explain?
Yeah.
Sorry, just so I know, so.
So at the end of the year, the way that June 30th falls every year depends on how we split the payroll at year end. So some years there's like 4 days in the last payroll that
Okay.
belongs to one fiscal year and 1 day that belongs to the next. And that can sometimes throw off like how it depends on how we divided the salary at
Okay.
the beginning of the year, and sometimes it can make those
Okay, I get
minor
it, okay.
differences.
All
yeah.
right, sorry, just
Some
wanted
days we
to.
get sometimes we get lucky and it's on a weekend. And,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have
No,
to do this.
That
but
makes
not
sense.
often.
Okay, perfect. That was the only question.
Okay, so just make a motion to accept the approved line items.
Yep,
For the relief
motion.
transfers.
Let's see, where are we?
Number 6.
Motion to approve the line item for municipal relief transfers for FY 2025 for all the departments.
All right, motion's made. I will second that. We had a discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we are at 6:10, so we'll stop here. Come on in, ladies.
Here for the public hearing. I'm the one who's speaking.
Yep, if you want to come up and have a seat here.
Sure.
Yep, come on up. All right, so we're going to, you're going to read the public hearing notice.
Perfect. All right, so notice is hereby
You can
given.
grab,
Grab a seat, yeah, take
Grab
it from the
seats.
back there and pull it on up.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Thanks, sorry.
No, you're good.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. Notice is hereby given that pursuant of the requirements of MGL Chapter 138, a public hearing will be held relative to the transfer of license, change of manager, pledge of collateral, and pledge of all inventory, all alcohol license as follows. J. Ma Ambi Enterprises, Inc., DBA East Bridgewater Liquors, Rashmi Hilton Patel, manager, and 225 Liquors Corp., DBA East Bridgewater Liquors, to Raj Shukla? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Manager, the premises is 225 Bedford Street.
Thank you. Okay, so, then you can finish the public hearing will be
Okay.
held.
A public hearing will be held at Town Hall, First Floor Conference Room, 175 Central Street, East Bridgewater, on Monday, July 14th, 2025, at 6:10 PM.
Okay. So, motion's been, so the hearing's been open. You want to say who you are and what's going on? And
Sure.
Yep.
Good afternoon. I'm Sydney Prokos, an attorney from Vieira and DJ and Filippo, based in Easton. I work with attorney Matt Porter, you know his name, and I'm here today with Dipti Shukla and Raj Shukla. We represent 225 Liquor Corp., which is purchasing East Bridgewater Liquors at 225 Bedford Street. Dipti Shukla, who's one of the principals and the majority shareholder of 225 Liquor Corp., owns several successful stores throughout Massachusetts, is a seasoned industry professional, and is alcohol tips certified. So takes her responsibilities very seriously. Raj Shukla is the proposed license manager who's already on site a minimum of 40 hours a week, if not more, and is also alcohol tip certified. Raj has been helping manage another location since April of last year, and has had no problems at either location. The other location is pretty well established and runs itself, so he's spending more time here at this location, 225 Bedford. We're here before you today requesting the necessary approvals related to the purchase of this liquor store. So that's all the transfers that you read at the opening. That's the all alcohol liquor license, change of manager, and per section 11 of the application, pledges of license and inventory to Rockland Trust. And I can get more about that later. Notably, these are all internal changes, nothing related to external business operations, hours of operation, location, only internal movement. Dipti and Raj are not new to the industry. Their lease is in place. Their financing is in order. They take their responsibilities very seriously, like getting alcohol tip certified, and they use a state-of-the-art scanning machine because they take underage sales so seriously. So should the board approve these changes today, their application will then go to the ABCC and will be on our way. But sometimes we get questions about the pledge, so I'll just speak to that up front. Per section 11 of the application, those pledges give the bank some security, so it acts similar to a mortgage, where, God forbid, if they did default on their loan, the bank could take their license. However, Rockland Trust is not in the business of operating liquor stores, and any subsequent owner would need to come before the board for these same approvals that we're asking for today. So nothing happens without your approval. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions or discussion.
Catherine, any questions?
I don't think I have any questions.
No?
I
That
think
sounds
it's
like-
kind of simple.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, you
My
answered
only
up
question
front,
is,
yeah.
are you sure you're old enough to run this place? Yes, you look very, very young. Look great. Look forward to having you guys come into town and be successful as you are in your other locations.
Thank
and
you.
Wish you best of luck,
Yeah.
for sure. Charlie, anything, or any,
No, I believe all the paperwork is in order.
we're all set?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to close the hearing first. Close that hearing. All in favor of closing the hearing? Aye. And then we'll have you make a motion for the change of the transfer of license.
Yep, so make a motion to transfer of license, change of manager, pledge of collateral, and pledge of all inventory, all alcohol license as follows from J. Ma Ambe Enterprises Incorporated, DBA East Bridgewater Liquors, Rashmi Hilton Patel Manager, to 225 Liquors Corp., DBA East Bridgewater Liquors, Raj Shukla Manager, premises 225 Bedford Street.
Thank you. Second that motion. We had discussion. Any other questions?
No, congratulations.
Yep.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
That go smooth?
That was
I know
perfect.
people are watching.
It was amazing.
Watching me very, very hard. I'll make sure I cross all the Ts and dot all the Is. Okay, so where are we at? 6:15. Let's go back to the appointments.
Number 7.
Yep, I think we're going to meet the Finance Committee.
Jennifer, Eric, come on up.
Come on up.
Both up?
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll have you introduce yourself, give us a little background, and then I don't know if we'll have any questions, but if you have any questions, we can certainly go through those.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm Jennifer Huss. I've lived in East Bridgewater since 2008. I've been, my current position is an accountant at one of the local community banks. I love working within the communities, and I'm hoping that I can use my skill set to help the community any way that I can, because as we all know, these next few years are going to be certainly challenging, so I'm hoping that I can, help in any way.
Great, appreciate that.
My name is Eric Cardoza. My family and I have been residents in East Bridgewater for about 10 years now. And I'm a business manager in Lakeville. I own a company there, and I also am the president of another company in Lakeville. And so I was looking for a way to contribute to the town. Happened to see a finance committee opening. I thought that might be the best use of my skill set in order to help out.
Absolutely, yeah. Appreciate it. You should both stepping up, especially these times. I mean, most people shy away in the financial picture we have currently, but I will say there is, hope on the horizon for sure. We've got some projects in the work we think are going to be beneficial to the town, and hopefully your long stay on these boards and maybe even further boards, hopefully you'll see some of that stuff come along. Do you have any questions for us at all, or?
No questions.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Catherine?
Yeah. No, first of all, I think it says a lot about you guys that you're willing to give back to your community. I think that's the most important thing. I think, especially in this day and age where life gets so busy. So thank you guys for stepping up and doing this. I think everybody knows how busy our personal lives can get. So this is definitely an endeavor that we appreciate you and your family for giving us this time. And then second, I think being aware of the financial situation that we are and making note of that as you guys have, and then also having the experience that you have as an accountant and a business manager, I should say owner, is very important and great to have as resources. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jolly or Rebecca or Lee, anything?
No.
Jolly, does this make us whole on the?
Yes.
All right, good. Yeah, finally. Yeah. Good news. All right, guys.
All right.
Again, thank you, and
Thank you.
we wish you the best success.
Thank you.
Okay, so next appointment's at, the appointment's got to be right on the nut so we can.
They
vote.
don't. Public hearings do.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do
Is
the
Mike
next
here?
appointment and he's not here, maybe we could go back to it
Yeah, we
at
can go back.
I
6:25.
told Mike we would see him tonight. I didn't give him a time, and
Okay.
he may be.
Pop in
at
some
this-
point?
Well, he may be thinking, because I didn't call him and give him a time he wasn't coming, so if he comes in, we'll see him. If not, we'll see him next month.
Absolutely, okay, no problem. Then, Chris, you guys ready?
Yeah, right.
All right, come on up. And you grab it, just pull a chair, pull it right up. Everybody can sit up front now. You guys want to sit in the back row? All right, that's fine. Yep.
How is everybody?
Good, Chris, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. Here to my right, I have Allison Hopkins. She has been our summer intern and our #1 assistant for
Right.
the last 4 months.
Clemson, right?
Yep,
Mine-
Clemson University.
Nice.
And like I said, she's been a big part of the office, pretty much running the schedule, setting things up, Monday through Thursday afternoons. She's been a big help with our veterans and our passports and everything like that. So with her going back to school and my military service coming up, I wanted to make sure that we recognized her for everything she's done for the office and everything like that. Do want to point out, many of the volunteers in the office, in many of our offices, are tax work-off, older people just looking to give back. She reached out to us. I mean, that says a lot about her and her work ethic and her leadership at a young age. So just want to point that out and thank her for that.
Absolutely, yes. You start?
Yeah, no, so I'm a granddaughter of 2 vets, so I appreciate all that you do for our veterans communities, and honestly, you coming to us to volunteer your services does say immense, accolades to you. That's amazing. I think you should be very proud of yourself, and yeah, thank you so much. 160 hours is no joke, so thank you. I appreciate it, and the town appreciates it, and we'll love to have you around, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the Bears, right? Clemson Bears? Is that what it is? No?
Tigers.
Tigers, I know. I was gonna look.
Lions.
Lions, Bears, they're all, yeah. No, that's great. And what year are you?
I'm going to be a junior.
Oh, great, great.
Awesome.
And what are you hoping, what major, or?
I'm studying social service and public policy.
Great. Well, again, thank you from the town of East Bridgewater for your commitment, your time. I'm sure Chris will miss you, but you're welcome back, right, next summer?
Yep,
If the
we're back
opportunity is
anytime. If she
yeah.
needs anything in the future, definitely we can be a resource for her.
Absolutely, yeah. Congratulations. And Chris, now what do you got going on? You're leaving you got some military?
I've got my 2 weeks at the beginning of the month.
Okay.
And then Allison's going to be with us till the 14th of August.
Oh, okay, so you got some more time.
Yeah,
All right.
some time.
All right, great.
Want to make sure we got this
Yeah,
taken care of
absolutely.
for her.
Yeah, no doubt. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank
again.
Yeah,
Good luck in the future.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, you got anything else for us?
Want to do a picture and
Yeah,
everything?
absolutely, yes.
Good.
Yeah. You want to read it? Do you want to read the thing?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read
the
it.
citation out loud, yeah.
All right, so, all right, certificate of appreciation on behalf of the citizens of the town of East Bridgewater and the Select Board and Veteran Service Officer extend their sincere appreciation and gratitude to Allison Hopkins, May 2025 through August 2025. Your commitment to the Veteran Service Department and our genuine interest in supporting our veterans and residents are truly commendable. Your contribution of over 160 volunteer hours reflects both your compassion and dedication to public service. We thank you for your time, effort, and unwavering support of the town of East Bridgewater and wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. Dated this 14th day of July 2025, signed by myself, the chair, Peter Spagone, vice chair, Carol Julius, and clerk, Catherine Mullen, attested by Kathleen Kavanaugh, town clerk.
Great, congratulations. Very nice. Now, who do you have with you? Is your mom or?
Yes, my mom, my sister.
Okay, hi mom, hi sister. Nice to meet you. Congratulations. All right, we can step over
Put near
here.
the flag. Get a picture?
Are you sure? You guys want a picture with the citation in front of the flag?
I would love just to grab a picture of her, but I
Yeah.
don't need to.
We can do that, yep. Come on over here, we'll get the group first, and then we'll get some individual shots.
No headshots.
All right, all right.
All right, I'm just gonna grab a couple. Perfect.
Oh, you one?
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Anything else, guys?
No, sounds good.
All right. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Mike, you here? You want to come on up? All right. So Mike, for people that don't know you, just state your name and,
Sure.
and we'll discuss.
I'm Mike Travers. I live at 439 North Bedford Street. I've been a constable for just over 15 years,
Right,
and I'm here asking about an appointment to continue.
okay. All right, so we had some discussion. Now, my mind isn't as good as it used to be. I used to be really like this, right on, not anymore. So why don't we discussed this,
Well,
right?
we had discussed whether there was a continued need for having constables here in East Bridgewater. we had, you all had consulted with town council, and the roles that constables play can be done by other people in terms of other offices and such. And the board at that point made a decision that you were not going to do the reappointments. Back 3 years ago, the town had voted to change constables from being elected positions to appointment positions. Those appointments ended back last month, would have been June. So right now, technically, we don't have any constables.
Okay.
But there's nothing preventing the board, if it wishes to appoint Mike or anybody else as a constable, you can do that, or you can decide not to have constables here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know your commitment, Mike. You know, you've been here a long time. You know, from my years at the Board of Health and then up here, I've seen you a lot. Have you had a lot of work in the past years? I mean, what's the reason, I guess, that you'd want to continue on? I mean,
Sure. The 15 years that I've served as a constable were all elected positions.
Yep.
And in those 15 years, I've been bonded that I pay for myself. And that protects the town as well as myself. And in those services related to what I could do for the town, I've done some service for the collectors department for people that were in arrears for water bills that really exceeded the amount of time they could really get people to pay in the arrears, so they had to be given notice of that, and that it would be collected. In the clerk's office, I've done posting for the elections coming up, the notices that are posted around town. And the other thing is the police department. I've always volunteered in the past to help with them with traffic control during the Christmas parade. Last few years, they've chose not to do that since the new committee took over for the parades.
Right, the CERT group, is that the one that does a lot of this stuff, right? Yeah.
So-
Okay, so let me ask you this, Mike. Outside of, you know, your constable, having the constable situation they have, you use it in other areas, is what you're trying to say to us? Like, you use it outside of just the police station, work for them, you've got other things that you
Yes.
do as well? Okay.
Once I became an East Bridgewater constable,
Yep.
excuse me, I opened a business, South Shore Constable Services.
Okay.
And I've done services for attorneys and their clients, for landlords that would go a long time without any pay, and they had to tell people that they had to quit. But the biggest part I've done in the past is probably for 8 or 10 years, working with the Department of Revenue Child Support Services.
Yep.
And that's people that haven't been paying child support, and they've been ordered by the court to pay a certain amount for alimony or child support, and they haven't been doing that. So they had to be served to explain in writing why they haven't paid, giving them the opportunity to explain that. That was really the work I really enjoyed, because I was part of a process to help people get the money they deserve.
Absolutely.
And they're suffering because they weren't getting it. And I'm proud of the work that they
And let me, and without this appointment, you wouldn't be able to do any of that type of work?
I'd have to close my business,
Okay, all right.
close the business certificates,
Yep.
accounts, everything.
Okay, yep, it makes sense to me. Catherine, you have any questions, or?
No, yeah, I think that makes sense. That definitely makes sense to me. I know that there's been a lot of changes with the roles that a constable has, especially with police reform bill. I was wondering how, you know, have you seen, I know that has a lot of changes that have happened. What are some of them that you've brought forward that you've noticed that has had an effect on you and your business? Because I know that that's something that kind of, you know, makes
Yeah.
your job maybe a little harder. Maybe I think you have less authority, correct, since police reform?
Yeah, but my authority usually came from different laws and so forth, such as the child support. That came under the Department of Revenue and all that they work with. The change in the police reform really hasn't affected what I do.
Okay.
I work alone. I don't require assistance or services from the police department. And their changes, they certainly haven't needed any of my assistance.
And is there certain requirements that that you have to meet as a constable, like, you know, certain trainings that you may have to get done or anything like that, or who do you report that to? I
Sure.
think that was kind of one of the questions that we had, if I can remember, back to that meeting, I think it was, there wasn't, the police don't necessarily have an authority directly over you, or there's no reporting, right?
Mhm.
You don't report directly to the chief, correct? You just
That's
report
correct.
to yourself. I was wondering, what entity does hold you responsible, if there are any issues or anything going on like that?
Well, the ones I fear the most are the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Better.
But there are a lot of regulations in the state.
Okay.
And I'd be the first one to admit, some of them are pretty outdated.
Yeah.
They originally started when constables came over from England, and that's all they had.
Yeah.
They didn't have police departments and sheriffs and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the country grew and they did have police departments, the law said that sheriffs should actually act as constables. But
Okay.
I suspect that was just because constables were the only ones doing any of that kind of law enforcement.
Yeah.
But other than that, just, I do have to complete an ethics conflict of interest
Okay.
with the town of East Bridgewater.
Okay.
And that's a review of the regulations and describes the kind of behavior that you should do, but
Okay.
more importantly, what you shouldn't do.
All right. Yeah, I just was curious because I know that that was one of the questions that I believe we all had as we were sitting here is, so thank you for clarifying that, and I know it can get a little sticky.
Sure. If I could just continue, in the back rooms, when I've talked to other constables, at least one of them had been through the police academy.
Yeah,
We all agreed that we'd like to get the training, but how do we do that? I suspect we'd have to be nominated by the police department or the town.
right.
And years ago, the cost was over $500 just to go to it. So who pays for that?
Right.
Certainly, I don't think the town was prepared to do that.
Right.
And for volunteer work, there was a lot for us to have to pay for as well.
Okay.
But if you'd like to train me, I'm available.
Yeah, I think it was one of the, just one of the questions that we've had. I know that there's a lot of changes when they changed post, and they had the police reform bill, and I couldn't exactly remember what the constable's definition was that changed. So I know that you don't report directly to the police department. I think that was an area of concern of what, who do you report
Yeah.
to, other than yourself, and I know that was one of the questions that was
So,
had. But.
generally, constables, although they can in some circumstances make arrests, but generally, we're doing civil matters, and the police is doing criminal matters.
Okay.
Okay, well, you make a good case, Mike, sure, and you've been here a long time. So Charlie, I guess I direct my question to you. So, I mean, I don't see a reason to not be able to do an appointment if that's
There's
an
nothing
option.
preventing,
Okay, I mean, I think case by case in situations like this, I mean, there's some people obviously that have told us that, they're all done, and not looking for that appointment any longer. But in your case, obviously, it would be beneficial for you to have that, so, I mean, I think
No,
it's-
I think
makes sense.
exactly. Yeah, I think when we originally had our meeting too, it was just kind of we didn't have like somebody come forward. I know they think you had messaged or something, but we hadn't had you here. And we had asked kind of everybody else's opinion, but having you here to be able to answer the questions, I think, gives us a lot more light on your role, opposed to asking other people how your role is done. So I appreciate you coming and answering our questions, and I think that you're doing great. If you have a business as well, and this would affect your business directly if you weren't in this position, I think we don't obviously want that to happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so what do we, how would we,
Well, you could vote to, someone make a motion to appoint Mike as constable. It's up to you as to determine the term. I would either go with the 1 year or 3 years,
yeah,
and
The others have all been 3-year terms.
okay. I mean, I don't have a problem, 3 years, 1 year, whatever. 3 years
Yeah,
is good to me.
yeah.
You want to make a motion then for,
Okay.
to appoint Mike
yeah,
Travis?
so I make a motion to appoint Mike Travers to this
as
as
constable,
constable in the town of East Bridgewater.
term expiring June 30th of 2028.
Okay, term expiring June 30th of 2028.
Okay, motion's been made. I will second it. Discussions, anything else, Mike?
I'd just like to say that as you made those decisions in the past, it would be impossible to expect you to see the far-reaching effects it might have on individuals, and that's where I found myself. But I'd like to continue my work, and being appointed here tonight, I'll be able to do that, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. We want to see you do that. Again, like I said, when you first got here, you've been here a long time, doing a great job, and we appreciate it. Thank you from the town's perspective as well. And that being said, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Thank you.
Mr. Constable, we're all set.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your
And I
service.
want to thank Charlie. He's corresponded and spoke to me on the phone a couple of times. When you did have the meeting, I was out of country.
Okay.
I was forced to vacation in Ireland. For
Oh, wow,
10
yeah.
Oh,
it's
no.
tough.
I told my wife I should come home and see what's going on. I was overruled.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Well, it was an easy fix, so.
Thank you
we're
all.
set. All right.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a joint meeting, but not till 6:45. So I guess we can go back to our action items.
I'm on number, I'm on
Number 7, yeah.
Sorry. Make a motion to approve to adopt the vote prepared from Michael, now help me here, Meidinger, bond counsel in connection with the approval of the sale of the town's July 2025 bond anticipation notes.
And the entire motion is contained in the board's agenda for tonight.
The entire motion is contained in tonight's agenda.
Okay, great. I will second that. Discussion? Charlie, we got anything we want to
No,
highlight? out of
this is part of the legal requirements. When the board, the town issues a bond anticipation note, you are the ones authorized ultimately to do so, and so these are the stipulations and obligations the town is incurring when we're doing with the band. So for instance, it mentions the amount, it mentions how much money we're going to have to pay as a premium at the end, so it's all.
I second it. All in favor? Aye. Number 8.
Make a motion to appoint Elliot Jacobs as an alternate member to the Conservation Commission effective July 14th, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
All right, motion made. I will second. Discussion. I'd like to thank Elliot for jumping on there with the
Yeah.
Conservation Commission. That's about it. All in favor?
Aye. Discussion and vote on the award, award a contract to WB Mason of Brockton, Massachusetts for paper items for a 1-year period commencing on July 1st, 2025. The award is conditioned upon receipt of the appropriate documents specified.
All right, motion made. I will second. Discussion.
So this is a revision of the board's previous vote for this contract. What had occurred was that a bidder apparently had submitted a lower bid than WB Mason, but they did not understand the definition of a carton. I know it sounds weird, but
Of a what?
a carton,
Carton.
C-A-R-T-O-N. The standard
Yes.
is 10 reams
Yep.
paper in a carton for an 8.5 by 11. They were thinking it's 5. So they obviously.
So it was lower because it was
they-
half.
Right, exactly. And so once that was discovered, the regional bidding group had said, well, we're going to have a revote on the contract.
Okay.
Not having to go out to bid again, but to accept WB Mason, because first bidder, the low bidder, or apparently low bidder, didn't actually bid on what they thought they were going to. So we're going back to WB Mason, which was the low bid otherwise.
Okay, so that's W. Mason's the low bid, actually the low bid?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's the only.
That makes sense. All right, motion made. Second. All in favor?
Aye. Notice of award for lease of Bridge Street landfill for solar field project to Kearsarge Energy contingent upon successful contract negotiations.
All right, motion made. I will second that. Discussion.
So for a number of years, I know, and especially Brian Keeley has tried to get the town to look at the possibility of building a solar field on the Bridge Street landfill.
Right.
We're not in the business. So the concept is, since we're not in the business, let's have somebody else come in, lease the land, build the solar field there. We're not going to operate it, they'll operate it, we're not going to maintain it or do anything. What we will do is get lease payments from them, releasing the land, renting the land,
Okay.
but also a pilot agreement through the Board of Assessors.
Okay.
So do we decide how do you decide who would we pay? They would pay us?
Yes.
Okay, this company would pay us.
Yeah, we won't deal with electricity. It's basically,
Okay.
think of it as a
We're leasing
storefront.
this land out to them?
Yes.
And who decides the cost of what that would be? Would it be the board or?
Well, ultimately, it's going to be the board. So when we went
Okay.
out to bid, we had two parts of the bid. One was more the technical side, the non-price proposals, showing that these firms, and we had 6 firms who had sent in proposals, showing that these firms had the experience and know-how to do something like this.
Okay.
One of the crucial things, for instance, also was, were they going to be the ones operating this, or are they just putting in a proposal and then they basically would farm it out to somebody else to do the actual work? And what the working group, which was myself, Brian, Joe Dolfler, who's been working with us as an energy consultant lawyer, and then Doug Stevenson, who's an energy consultant, reviewed the proposals, and we narrowed it from 6 to 3, asked some additional questions, and ended up with Kearsarge as the best proposal between the non-price information and the price information. Things are still in flux in the sense of, as you might guess, with legislation at the state level, legislation at the federal level,
Okay.
that pricing and such may be in flux depending on how many kilowatt, how big the field's going to be, the energy credits that are available and such. But we thought, so this is why it's all contingent upon the negotiations.
Okay, and if we lease out this land, this company builds these, they put the solar panels there, then they can't pay their lease, what happens then?
That would be within the contract itself.
Okay, and who decides to contract us?
You ultimately sign it.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, we've had projects like this, I believe, before, too. We leased out, didn't we lease out the land down by Howard Hanks Building? Wasn't that our project as well? That was the leased property that we had at one
Okay.
time. Yeah, it could be. Anyways.
So it's all contingent upon successful negotiations.
Yep.
The pricing, even with the contract, the pricing may change not in the interim between now and then, but even during the contract, in the sense of, it's again, ultimately what gets built, it's ultimately what credits are available and such. But the working group's feeling was that this was, out of the 6, this company appeared to provide the best chance that this project would actually get off the ground. And that the town would obviously recoup a fair amount of money. We would be getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in lease and pilot payments.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Charlie. All right, motion is made and seconded, discussion all set. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So what will happen sometime in the future, I'll come back to the board with a contract. I might bring in Doug Stevenson and Joe Dolfler
Yeah.
to go over it, to answer questions from the board and such.
Yeah, to talk about, kind of,
Be more of the particulars of it.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
right.
Okay, make sure all the stakeholders are here for sure. All right, discussion and possible vote on town's right of first refusal on proposed transfer of land out of MGL Chapter 61A designation 40 Stone Meadow Drive.
All right, so I'll second motion. Motion made second, discussion.
This is a small slice of property where the owner had wanted to, in essence, transfer it to
Yep.
an abutter. This may be it.
Right.
For this,
Yes,
or
sir.
why you explain, sir?
Yeah.
No, Mr. Chair, Member Mullen, my name is Frank McClade. I'm an attorney in East Bridgewater. I represent the prospective purchaser, Scott Johnson. And as Charlie was about to say, the owners have a 28-acre parcel that they have in Chapter 61.
Okay.
Scott is an abutter. This abuts his residential property.
Yep.
It is just over half an acre. It's 0.52 acres of land. The owners are willing to sell it to him. He would love to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's half an acre. He's not going to change the zoning,
Yep.
do anything, add anything. This just happens to be an opportunity for him. And as part of that, to take it out of that, the town has a right of first refusal to review the contract. You've been given a copy of the purchase and sale, been given a copy of the plan that's on record. Everyone that needs to be notified, from the state forester to Assessors Board, yourselves, Conservation Commission, and Planning Board have all been notified. The Planning Board, in fact, had to sign the Mylar, which is now on record. So you're in the middle of your 120 days. I came in case there was any information I could provide to help. Otherwise,
Now, Frank, my memory serves me correct, we worked together some years ago on the Board of Health.
we did.
True, yeah, geez, it's been a hell of a long
Back to,
time. Right.
we want to talk about BFI's
Yeah, no, we don't want to go that far
expansion,
back.
and-
Right, we want to keep, for the people in the room, we'd rather keep that between the two of us. But no, it's good to see you again, Frank.
Thank you. Good to see you as well.
I know Scott, went to school with Scott. You know, I think I've talked to him about the opportunity anyways. Yeah, I don't have any.
There's no interest for the town.
Yeah,
We're not
right.
going to be using a half acre for anything.
No, plus we're broke.
So that's true, too. That's always a factor.
Yeah, it is. Do you have any questions for?
I don't. I think you provided quite a bit of information here for us to answer any questions that I would have. So thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So Charlie, how is the way that Catherine has read that, is that good? Should we put in a different? Okay. All right. So the motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. You're all set, Frank.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Well, obviously, we'll get a letter
Yeah.
back to them, and
So,
All right, discussion of open meeting complaint concerning the select board meeting of June 9th, 2025, filed by Kevin Freytag of Rudolph Friedman LLP, and possible response.
all right. I'm going to jump back to this afterwards. This might be a little bit of a discussion we can have after we give an appointment, right, at 6:45? Is that right?
Okay.
sure.
Sure.
yeah.
And we'll have
Excuse me, I'm
see,
sorry.
they're all here. You guys want to come on up for our joint meeting with the Housing
Bring
Authority?
some chairs. and-
Yeah, you can grab a couple of chairs on the side and wrap around. Sadie, come on up. Come on. No? Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Hi.
Mr. Chair, Member Motlin. I'm Brenda Kozik. I'm the Assistant Treasurer of the East Bridgewater Housing Authority Board of Directors.
Yep.
This is Elizabeth Weatherby, and she has applied for the vacant position on our board. She's been an excellent tenant at our Riddell Road property and is a current member of our pet committee.
Okay.
And we interviewed her on July 9th and would like to recommend her for the position on the board.
Great. Now, before I get going here, Charlie, do they have to open up a meeting or anything, or?
Yeah, they can't, if you want to be more formal about it, yes.
Right, yeah, so if you just want to open up your meeting, and then just take a vote for that.
So I'm Christine Butler, I'm the chair. So
Okay, okay.
I'll call the meeting to order.
Absolutely, okay.
And we'll put to a vote. Is that what you're looking
Yep,
for?
yep.
So there's
A vote to,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't know which vote you were going to do.
To open up the meeting.
to open up the meeting?
Yes.
Yes. So,
I'll
all
make
those
that
in favor?
motion.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, all in favor, good, okay. Now we're official. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I have been a tenant on Riddell Road for almost 10 and a half years. Former bookkeeper. I work part-time now at Ocean State Job Lot.
All right.
I love animals.
Okay, that's a plus, right?
Yes.
Right.
Big family person.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your stepping up. As we said earlier, we had 2 new members to the Finance Committee as well, so it's great to see people coming out and participating with groups, because, we see over and over some of the same people, right, Sandy, that come out. You've been there, I don't know, how many years now? How many years you've been on?
All total, some decades.
Some decades, that's a good way to put it, right, yeah. So we appreciate you coming aboard. We hope you enjoy your stay with the Housing Authority. I don't really have any questions, Catherine? you have any?
No, again, just, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. This is going to be exciting for you. I think, we need people that want to be involved, so it's great that you're here and you're ready. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So why don't you, I think we've already said it, Charlie, as
Yeah,
good the
so
way it was
what will happen is that it's a joint vote, not that the board has one vote and the Housing Authority has one vote.
Yep.
We all
Each
vote.
person has one vote.
Okay.
So if you want to call the roll for both of you, all of you who are here,
Yep.
you vote yes or no.
Okay, generally, okay, so I'll do that right now. So let's all vote to appoint Elizabeth Weatherby to the Housing Authority for, I think it's a year, right?
Yeah.
It says here?
Next.
Okay, next
Till May.
election, okay, yep, all right, so appointment to the next election. I, Peter Spigot.
I, Catherine Mullen.
Hi, Christine Butler.
I, Brenda Kozick.
I, Sandra Marty Ross.
Okay, it's official, you're in, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure
Do we have to
working.
adjourn?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, good to see you. Okay, I think that's all our appointments and our hearings.
Busy, busy, busy.
All right, right.
We're
So
doing-
now we
we're
can go
doing good,
back
though.
to
We're running it.
our last discussion item, I guess. So this
Okay.
is just a discussion, we're not voting on anything
There-
here.
Well, the only vote I'm going to recommend to the board, obviously, we received the complaint.
Yep.
The town has to respond through the select board. My recommendation is that you refer the matter to town council. They will issue a response back to the person who originated the complaint.
We just released the June 9th minutes too, right, on the record in the beginning?
I don't think if they were released.
I think we released them, did we release them tonight?
Oh, open meeting,
Approve them?
open session.
Okay.
Approve but not release the executive.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so why don't you, Catherine, I don't know if we need any further discussion. I think everybody's read the complaint. I guess we, as Charlie says, we'll just, you want to make a motion to refer this to town council to
Yeah, I
whoever they do.
Provide a
Okay.
response.
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion to provide for our town council to provide a response in regard to the complaint concerning the select board meeting of June 9th, 2025. That was filed by Kevin Freitag of Rudolph Friedman LLP and a
And that's, well, and that's what
okay?
they're going to do, yes.
So we're
Okay,
gonna
that's
do,
what
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
respond,
do.
all right. Yep, okay. All right, motion made, I will second that. Any further discussion? Anything else, Charlie, to add there?
No.
Good to go?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I think that's the end of our action items. Let's see, announcements? No?
I do not.
Nothing?
I have a couple things.
All right, great.
So July 22nd and July 29th from 10 to 12, we'll be holding a dementia-friendly experience. It's a workshop. The town offices will be open. The first part is interactive, and then the second part is kind of like an explanation as to what happened in the interactive session.
Okay.
The DPW held this, COA held this. I thought it would be a good opportunity for the town staff, whether it affects their personal life or even customer service here. It kind of will give them a better understanding, you know, how to work with people with, you know, potential memory loss. The Public Safety Building Committee should be coming to present to you guys on August 11th.
Okay.
So that's good. The Traffic Advisory Committee will be meeting tomorrow morning, and we're going to be reviewing a first draft of like a policy procedure, a possible form that residents or anybody could submit, and it'll come to us. So it'll be, hopefully it'll all come together and we'll have a good process.
Great.
We have one job opening, senior clerk position at the COA. It's a volunteer coordinator position, so that's going to be open until July 25th. We're in July.
Okay,
That's it.
perfect. Thank you. Charlie?
MBTA community zoning update. The deadline for communities that, there's 177, there are a few communities, because of their circumstances, have a deadline of the end of this calendar year. East Bridgewater is not one of them. Right now, our deadline is tomorrow. The board and the planning board had submitted to town meeting twice articles that would have brought the town into compliance with the state statute. Town meeting, through the folks who showed up, voted no on both occasions. So obviously, we're therefore going to not be in compliance by the end of tomorrow. There's a few things going on. One is obviously we'd be waiting to see what the Attorney General does. The latest count that I saw this morning is the number of communities that will be out of compliance by the end of tomorrow will be in the high teens. It was originally, a few weeks ago, it was in the 30s, and I guess a number of towns had town meetings and such and voted. On the other hand, I think it was Marblehead They had town meeting which had approved it, and they went to a referendum that overturned what the town meeting vote. So they'll be one of the communities that are not in compliance. But we'll see what Andrea Campbell does. Obviously, with Milton, they had a very early compliance date, and once they were not in compliance, she did bring them to court. Milton lost, and I think Milton made arguments on its behalf, and the courts did not find in favor of Milton. They found in favor of the Commonwealth. Similarly, a number of communities went to court under the state auditor's decision that there was an unfunded mandate in connection with this. The judge found otherwise. So the arguments that the town doesn't have to comply because it's a mandate aren't going to fly at all. I know there's a number of pieces of legislation at the State House. I don't believe that any of them have moved very much other than having bills filed that would grant some sort of variances or exceptions or waivers to various communities. For instance, I saw one that basically said if a community met any of these criteria, for instance, it was a smaller community, more under 8,000, if it already reached its 40B, 10% affordable units, if it was didn't have the money to provide the additional infrastructure, et cetera, then it would be granted an exemption. That's one example. I don't know whether you would like to consult with the town's legislative delegation about where those bills sit, whether there's how much interest there is in pursuing those as a possibility for the town. The other alternative is obviously, in the meantime, or simultaneously, waiting to see what the Attorney General's office does. I would expect that they'd be, given that there's, as I mentioned, probably it's going to be in the high teens, I would expect some move from the Attorney General's office later this summer.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slippery slope that, we're going down. We knew that going in when it didn't get voted in. There's a lot of money that the town has utilized, even in just the past few years. Me and John know that quite a bit with the millions that we brought in. That would be off the table in these circumstances. And, are there opportunities, like you said, bills out there that, we may be able to grab a pot of or work together with in order to see if there's an exemptions or what the opportunities are that we have with some of the infrastructure we have coming into the community? Because we are in a different, I do say we're in a different picture, so to speak, than some other towns. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's beneficial or not, but it would be my feeling that yes, we would definitely want to have some conversations sooner than later with some representation to find out just where we sit individually, not collectively.
Right.
Like I said, with these 16, 17 other towns, but individually where we sit based on what we've already know our future looks like going forward.
Yeah, I definitely have been monitoring this closely legislatively. In regards to the legislation you guys are referring to, there are quite a few bills filed. You're correct. There has been no movement on that. There's not any movement really at the State House, anyways. But
glad you said it.
But that being said, if we think that we need to have a conversation with our legislators, sure. I know that as of right now, there's been amendments that I think our legislators the legislator has signed on to that would support the MBTA communities. I also want to make note at the fact that they are kind of growing outside the reach of just now keeping grants. They're also now, penalizing MBTA non-compliant communities using supplemental and budgetary money, which I think is something that we haven't realized before. I know we just had Chapter 90 funds that we would not have thought would have been kept with the supplemental budget coming through with the millionaire's tax. That was not something that was perceived that would be stripped away if you were non-compliant. I don't think it was something we...
it was not contemplated.
Yeah,
and
so...
we're on the hook for losing something on the order of $130,000.
So I think that, if we want clarification on what are the actual, what funds can the state keep from non-compliant communities, that if there needs to be a letter from, ourselves, including other non-compliant communities, saying, what funds are actually, because we were under the understanding it was grant funding, and now that seems to outskirt that reach to go to supplemental budgetary funding, which I think is a huge concern, especially with the amount of supplemental. The legislator is taking up a supplemental budget again tomorrow. So this is one of those things that I think 100% we should bring our legislators forward, ask them, what that scope is, what that looks like, so that they can report that back to us.
Yeah, 100%.
I think maybe coordinating a date for them to come forward, to answer to those questions would be great. And then, I didn't know if this was a conversation worth having, but, are there, as we as a town, have we been in conversation with other non-compliant communities?
I was just going to ask the same question. Are there towns close to us? I mean, like Whitman, I know is it Halifax?
Halifax, yeah, there's no, Halifax will be the last town, I believe, to ever comply.
Right.
Given the votes there.
Yeah, so, I mean, do you think there may be a benefit to,
Well, I know the town of Carver, for instance, had emailed me, my colleague there, had emailed me and other folks on the South Shore about whether we had been in contact with our legislators about various pieces of legislation.
I think that there's definitely, I know as of right now at the state level, the legislators are talking to each other. There's an informal caucus of non-compliant legislators all put together. That being said, what does the town look like? Is there some type of town caucus that we could have with a representative, of each non-compliant community to come together? Because I think about the perspective of when the state was withholding funds for the fire department for public safety materials, right? We had the Duxbury Fire Chief got together with all of the other fire chiefs that were non-compliant, that would have been affected by it, wrote a letter, had the union support it as well, and that was revoked. It's almost as if, yes, we're strong as East Bridgewater, but are there other non-compliant communities that would want to get on to a letter that we could write to the state that just asks for clarification, what's up, what is going on, what are we going to be, continue to be withheld from at the state legislature, and have that be supported by our legislators? I don't know if that's something that you'd be thinking about.
Yeah,
we're in this boat. We regardless of what we feel the boat should have been, right? We're kind of in this ship together, so now we need to kind of decide how are we going to keep plugging the holes so that it stays up,
Yeah, I think it can't hurt, right? We can't get any worse than the situation is. So, that conversation jointly or individually, there's two conversations there, I think, that are definitely need to be had based on our demographics and what inner workings of what we have going on in East Bridgewater. But also, as you said, on top of what each town is involved in and what their perspective from their legislators as well. Because some of these towns, like Allison isn't in Halifax, right?
That's Kathy Lenatra.
So they have other legislators too that I think would be beneficial to have more than one person that we're relying on.
And I think that caucus of legislators has had the same conversation of, well, why don't we queue in the town? Should there be a caucus for the town and state delegation legislators there? Because obviously, this is where we kind of meld that relationship. So.
Yeah, Charlie, if you wanted to reach out.
Sure, I'll continue pursuing.
Okay. Absolutely.
The special town meetings for the fall of 2025, I don't need any decisions tonight. Right now, for the Central School project, we've been aiming at November 10th for the town meeting and then November 15th for the town election. Those dates are still where we want to aim.
Okay.
However, we're getting, while there's nothing formal yet, we are receiving requests for articles for a fall town meeting. And something to think about is, while it seems a little cumbersome to have two town meetings within a few weeks of each other, my feeling is, in fact, we should be doing that, because what I want is the Central School project to be on the warrant by itself.
Yep.
It's going to take a fair amount of time by itself, just discussing, but also I do not want it to be influenced by who might show up for other articles that are on the warrant, one way or the other. I want it by itself, up or down, by
So
itself.
you don't want to bring back the MBTA that night?
As an example, yes. If we ever thought we were going to do that, I'd want that on a separate town meeting warrant.
No, that makes sense.
So one possibility is, again, no decision needs to be made, though next month I'll want decisions made on the 11th, is to hold a special town meeting on the 27th of October, 2 weeks earlier.
Okay.
And throw everything else that's not the central school on that warrant.
Yeah, I'd support that. I think, obviously that conversation needs to carry over till we get Carol back
Right.
here and talk about it, but, yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think the school project is large enough that we, really gotta circle in on just that.
Right. I think even with the town meeting that happened in May when I went, I sat in the back of the auditorium and I had some seniors in front of me that turned around, and even though there's multiple articles on it, they turned around with confusion. I don't think that when the MSBA, when the school is voted on, that there should be any confusion on that. I think it needs to be very clear that constituents are going to be voting for this, and they need to have the information ready and there. But that also being said, if there are going to be two different town meetings, it needs to be clear when those dates
Right.
are, have that posted, as well as the bulletin out front.
Yep.
And just because I know that's another thing is seniors are, I went to town meeting 2 weeks ago. Oh, well,
Right.
guess what? There's another one, so I think we need to make sure maybe there's postage at the COA about that as well. I know that there's just, make sure we're very transparent about the fact that there will be two meetings and which one is which, so.
Yep, sounds good.
So I don't have anything else. I do have a script, given what we were just dealing with earlier tonight, to follow for going into executive session.
Oh, yeah, I need some rules, absolutely. So we get to board discussion first before we go into this. Do you have anything you'd like to discuss for the board tonight?
I feel like I had something and it's just.
Is it right by you?
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, and I'll stop. The
You
only
go
thing I'd like
ahead,
to
yeah.
have is, so I
Sorry.
sat in on, me and John Haynes sat in on the safety building meeting, which they held last week. They're police and fire looking at a new building somewhere down the road, in very far future, I guess, at this point. Really, they're just kind of getting the ball working. They have a committee of, I don't know, John, like 7 people, I think is what they have, somewhere right around there, and discussing what the process was. John was a great help in having sat on the high school and now the central school project, giving them some feedback on how the process works. One thing did come up because we obviously directed them, most importantly, to a feasibility study of some kind. And Charlie, they have, so the fire department was awarded 40 grand. Yeah, appropriated about 40,000 for, and we're real unsure how, what the wording on that is, if it can be moved into.
So I just need to find where we voted on the town
I think the
meeting.
fire chief has it, he's gonna, if you don't hear from him, you can reach out to him, and then, maybe we get town council to kind of take a look at what we can do utilizing those funds for, to bring in here, because the thought was.
Yeah, this is another thing, is if the language was so strict.
Right.
There's then the possibility of just, okay, fine, we'll have a vote at town meeting in October, move the 40,000 from this article to a new article that's a little bit broader in scope.
Yeah, whatever it may be, but at least get some eyes on it, we can go from there. That's all I have.
I remember what I had, sorry. This is something I noticed when I was actually looking at the agenda online, make sure it's posted tonight. On our legislative on our website, on the Town of East Bridgewater website, for our congressional rep, it has Bill Keating. Now, is that our congressional rep? I believe it's Stephen Lynch.
I'd have to go back and look at
I
this.
think it's Stephen Lynch,
Okay.
if correct.
It's on our website?
It's on our website as Bill Keating, and I believe that it's Stephen Lynch. I noticed it on there, and it could have it's probably from forever ago when
Well, it's
maybe
probably
Keating.
it's probably from the previous census. is my
Yes,
guess.
exactly. So I just wanted to.
Sure. No, we can take one look.
Because I thought that was
It's fairly
something-
easy to make a change.
I was gonna say that. I was like, I didn't know if I was like, I could be going crazy, but I think our congressional delegation, it
No,
is
well,
Stephen
and, well,
Lynch.
he certainly thinks it is because he comes to our.
I was gonna say, he's definitely been here, so I just wanted to make note of that. But then I also was like, I don't, actually, let me double check, because I know we do have split precincts
I don't-
for state rep delegations, so.
I don't think for the congressional.
Okay, so definitely it's Stephen Lynch then.
I'll just run a search and find which page it's on.
All right, I think takes us out of our regular meeting. All right, Charlie, so if I'm following this correctly, and I need to do that from now on, so I will, so I'll make the motion, and then I'll have Catherine read the motion.
Well, you're making the motion, so you don't have, she doesn't have to read
the whole
same-
thing?
You read the whole thing.
You want me to read the whole thing?
Yes, please.
Okay, just making sure, okay. So let's see. I move that East Bridgewater Select Board go into executive session for the following reasons. Pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, as an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the Select Board for collective bargaining with the following unions: firefighters, clerical, Department of Public Works, and superior officers. Pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation, as an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigation position of the Select Board in the following litigation: Ritter Farm, Inc. Versus Town of East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, docket number 2383 CV 00867. And the Select Board will not reconvene in open session at the end of the executive session. Confirmed as the chair, Peter Spagone.
Catherine Mullen,
Second again?
seconded by
Yep.
Catherine Mullen.
All
We
right.
go to discussion.
Yep, we're going to discussion. Any discussions about this?
I have no discussion.
I have none either.
Other than what I need you to read there.
Okay, oh, I do have some discussion, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, okay. Go ahead, discussion. I declare that having an open meeting on collective bargaining and litigation may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the Select Board, confirmed by me, Peter Spagone, Jr. Now I'll take the roll call.
Yes.
Okay, here we go, roll call, vote. Peter Spagone, yes.
Catherine Mullen, yes.
Thank you and good night, as it says on the paper. That's a good one, let's go, give it up.